Hello comrades, I am Commissar Cowguy Pig, and today we're going to be talking about some fun facts about Joseph Stalin. Well, okay, maybe not so fun facts, since by some estimates, Stalin killed 20 million people in his gulags. So while Stalin is still considered a bad guy by most people, they tend to forget that overall he killed way more people than Hitler did. It's kind of like when you do a group project, and you do all the work, but the guy who did the bare minimum gets all the credit. So welcome to some not so fun facts about Joseph Stalin. So some of you might already know that the name Stalin literally means man of steel in Russian. But this wasn't his first name. He was actually born with the name, excuse me as I try to pronounce this, Joseph Vissarionovich Djugashvili, as he was a Georgian. No, the other Georgia. The reason for this name change was when Stalin was an agent for the Communist Underground, he had the issue of his name sounding too Georgian. So when he could travel to a new city and the police got a leak saying they should look for a Georgian man, it made him kind of stand out. But if the police were told to look for a Joseph Stalin, a very Russian-sounding name, it made him less likely to be found. But Leon Trotsky just called him a Comrade Index Card, as Stalin wasn't really a very powerful speaker or writer. Well, Stalin got the last laugh anyhow, as things didn't turn out well for Trotsky. Stalin also really liked movies. So much so that he built a movie theater in each of his houses. This love of cinema inspired him to rule by cinema. Stalin took a pretty active role in Soviet propaganda, cinema scene, and considered himself to be a producer, director, screenwriter, and censor. Now, not to humble brag, but considering I do all the different tasks to make these videos all by myself, I can say for once I relate to Joseph Stalin. Stalin also really liked the Duke, John Wayne, who was famous for making westerns, not the bourgeoisie capitalist kind, but the Wild West one. Stalin also had collected many of John Wayne's films and used some of his directing techniques in his own propaganda films. These means that production ain't big enough for the two of us social classes. Film wasn't Stalin's only artistic tendency, as he also wrote poetry under the pen name Zocello. Roads are red, Hitler is dead. Let us paint the entire world red, once all the capitalists are dead. Okay, sorry, that was a terrible Russian accent. So Stalin also really liked classical music, so much so that when he heard pianist Maria Udina on the radio, he requested a physical copy. Well, when he found out that there was no recorded copy, he made her, asked her and the entire orchestra to willingly create one, which they gladly did. But before becoming a brutal, benevolent dictator, Stalin was actually a weatherman at an observatory. So on Saturday, we can expect a wave of the proletariat masses to wash away that wave of bourgeoisie oppression we've been experiencing. But even before becoming a weatherman, he actually had started training to become a priest. Yes, the guy who shut down all the churches in Russia had trained to become a priest. But he ended up becoming nah, I'd rather overthrow the bourgeoisie and be a badass. But he was a really short badass, as he was only 5'4". In fact, American President Truman called him the Little Squirt, even though Truman himself was 5'7". So thanks for watching. This has been Cowguy Pig, and I'll see you next time.